All right, hey, fight fans. It's your boy Dre Spectre Boxing. I got another video coming for you. This is my last one of the night. Let's talk about Errol Spence versus Manny Pacman Pacquiao. Manny Pacman Pacquiao. See, look here. Errol Spence can't look ahead of fights. He got to deal with Mikey Garcia. But you know who can look ahead of fights? Dre Spectre Boxing. I can look ahead of fights. So the winner out of Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia has been looked at as a potential opponent for Manny Pacquiao. He said that in the leading up to the fight with Adrian Broner. And I believe that this could be the next fight, the next big fight. At this point in Manny Pacquiao's career, he want to make the most money possible. He's signed to PBC. If he can't get a Floyd Mayweather fight, and I made a video about I like the Keith Thurman versus Manny Pacquiao fight. But if he can't get the Floyd Mayweather fight, I don't think right now, because of the inactivity of Keith Thurman, that fight draws a lot of money. But you know what? Guess what? And mark my words, because see, look, I start to see the future. I start to see the big picture. I'm feeling like Al Heyman over here. I'm starting to see the big picture. If Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence on pay-per-view gets the views needed, if it's a great showing, if Errol Spence destroys Mikey like I think he might do, boy, that's a superstar. Superstar versus Asian vet superstar, 2-fight deal for PBC. Manny Pacquiao, second fight versus an Asian superstar, which gets to pass the torch to Errol Spence. Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao. Boy, we got a big fight brewing on our hands. I'm telling y'all, look forward to this. This may be the next big fight. I always thought that it was going to be, because, of course, Manny Pacquiao wasn't signed to the PBC. I thought it was going to be something like Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia or Keith Thurman, that propels him to superstardom and gets him to become that pay-per-view fight star. But if he able to do a Mikey Garcia fight in pay-per-view fight, then beat Manny Pacquiao on pay-per-view, there's no more free TV for Errol Spence. So all you Errol Spence fans, there will be no more free TV for Errol Spence. If Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence is a possibility, like if it's able to draw a crowd, because Manny, if Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence does numbers, and it is a great showing, gets the social media backing, do you know that Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence, that's pay-per-view? Oh boy, we talking some numbers. We ain't talking Floyd Pacquiao numbers. Don't get me wrong. But we talking about possible somebody else getting over the million pay-per-view mark. The million pay-per-view mark. Because that fight can be sold. That fight can be sold this year. Man, I'm just sitting up here. I was looking at a bunch of other videos, man, and I love the thought of Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao, a passing of the torch, pay-per-view star versus young lion. Man, that right there. That might be the key. That might be the key. And from then on, anybody who fight, because that propels Errol Spence into pay-per-view stardom. Anybody who fights Errol Spence becomes the next payday. And that sets the table for Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford to be a mega fight. Errol's going to be, obviously, if he beats Mikey Garcia, I'm the one who's already beaten Mikey Garcia. Do the breakdown later. Mikey Garcia then beats a Pacquiao. Boy, like, he's the A-side. Bob Arum has no fucking negotiating room. You know what I mean? When it would come to Earl Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight, like they would have to like kind of bend down and pay homage to Al Heyman and Earl Spence. They would have to be. They'll be at their mercy. You know what I mean? To get that fight because they don't need Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford needs Earl Spence because they don't have any other fighters over there on ESPN fighting with Bob Arum and Top Rank. He's running out of opponents. He had to borrow a PBC fighter. He's looking for another PBC fighter if they can't get Earl soon. Man, it's gonna get tight over there with with Terrence Crawford because everybody want to see him fight Earl Spence. Earl Spence doesn't have to fight Terrence Crawford. He has plenty of other guys that he can fight over here on PBC. That's the big fight that people would like to see. That's the dream fight. But who wouldn't want to see a Keith Thurman versus Earl Spence? Who wouldn't want to see the Sean Porter versus Earl Spence? Or Ugas. Ugas only if he beats Sean Porter. Like, in I say a dominating fashion because otherwise it would demand a rematch, and I would think Porter could, potentially avenge any loss in a rematch, potentially. So and then Danny Garcia, Earl Spence versus Danny Garcia, Earl Spence versus that's what I'm saying. Danny Garcia versus Earl Spence. Who wouldn't want to see that either? And these are some good matchups, man. But the dream matchup is Earl Spence versus Terrence Crawford. But the other fights, those are more than makeable. Like, Al Heyman has him playing. He said that, Earl Spence is repeating what Al Heyman has told him. We're cleaning up the street on our side. That's what he gonna do. He gonna set him up with Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, and Keith Thurman. Those are fights that can be made, and those are fights that are gonna be potential all pay-per-view fights if he can beat a Mikey Garcia on pay-per-view, then a Pacquiao on pay-per-view. All his fights will be propelled to pay-per-view after that. Let me know what y'all think up in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think, man. This is my last video of the day. I'm signing out, but I really want to know what y'all think about Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence. That would be a great fight, man, and that's a passing of the torch fight if he can successfully defend his title versus Manny Pacquiao. Also, that'll be a unification fight. I think Manny Pacquiao has some belt. I don't know which one, but he has a belt. So of something, I forget. Let me know what belt Manny Pacquiao has if you do know. All right, Dre Spectrum signing out.